Hi, it's Jamie. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to bring to you two new projects. I had a special request from a family member to create something for her door for Halloween, so that's what we're going to set about making. So I'm going to actually make two. I'm going to use the Dollar Tree wire form for the wreath wire form, a round one and a square one. We're going to use mesh. Last week we used tulle. This week we're using mesh. We'll need a wire cutters, scissors, a paintbrush. You'll see that I did get some of these signs. This one says eek. So I've already painted them just because I needed them to be good and dry. And then for my new granddaughter, I'm going to make one that says there's a new boo in town, just as a fun little wreath. You'll need pipe cleaners. I'll make a full list in the description below that'll tell you how many pipe cleaners, but just know you'll need pipe cleaners. I use this to create my hangers on the back, and it's just a jute rope, excuse me. There's some real pretty net ribbon at Dollar Tree. So this is a very sheer black with a gold sparkly spider web on it. And then I have just a tulle with gold flakes. So it's gold tulle with gold sparkles on it. And they also had creepy crawlies, so I've taken them off, so they're a good size. So this was 2 for $1, so that was actually a really good buy. And then I went ahead and got, there's a package of 6 of the little glitter spiders. So grandsons will love those, creepy crawlies. Some glitter pumpkins. The black that I used to paint my chipboard with. And then I just have some stash of glitter. Not sure what I'm going to use of it yet. We'll see how that goes as the design progresses. And then one last thing is I'm going to use a wire to potentially wire these on. I'm not sure if I'll need that, but again, I'll put the full description below of the items that I used. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so we've got our mesh cut, and the next thing we want to do is separate the rolls. So basically you have, by making this process go quicker, you did add this extra step, but it's not a big deal. And I found if you roll it as you re-roll it as it comes off of that cluster, you're ready for decorating. Let's show you that again. Get one, and they like to tangle on each other, so it's better just to touch them the least amount possible for aggravation's sake. And try to get them like that. And then the next thing we also want to do, so I'll do all these. The next thing we want to do after that is, I have 30 pipe cleaners because it'll take 60. It takes 60 to a round one, so we'll see. And actually I do several at a time, and once again, this is not my good scissors, so I'm not worried about cutting through this little wire. Mufasa says hello. So then what you'll do is you'll take it and you'll create what they call a working wreath. and I give them a couple twists just to keep them in place, and I'm on 2 wires. That'll add stability also. And so basically you can decide if you're going to do 1 loop, stack them. I'm going to do 1 for this so I can always go back, and I'm just going to do a real light twist here, and see, it'll have that little curl effect. Alright, you can see that we've got 3 of our sides done. Just in case you haven't seen this done before, you roll your mesh. I've attached the pipe cleaner here. You put it down and you just give it a good twist. I do it a couple times. And then what I've decided with this wreath I want to do is I'm going to take this real pretty glittery ribbon, and I'm going to use it. I'll show you how. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this that we cut, same size, 12 inches, and it does have a right side and a wrong side. This side is a little more glittery, so I've got that facing out. And I just do a pleat with my fingers. And more pipe cleaners. I had to cut more, but that's okay. I knew I was going to have to, just didn't know how many in the beginning. Take it, twist it, fold it over, and then give it another twist, and that's just to try to help keep that from slipping out. And then what I'm doing is I'm literally fluffing it and sticking it in between the other one. So putting it in, pinching it, flip it over, make sure it's sort of in the middle there, and then twist it several times. And then bend down so it doesn't poke anything. And then this will get fluffed. And then what I'm doing to bend these down, I'm literally pulling them up, bending one of the pipe cleaners around it, one side, and then the other end around the other side. Give it a good pinch and slide it over. And then this will stand up nicely in between. Okay, so now we have our wreath complete, and we're going to start creating the things we want to decorate it. So I'll have some of these pumpkins that I'll end up putting a wire in and E6000 so that it will last outside, and then put them around. But in the meantime, just to get these out of the way, not their placement, but in the meantime, what I need to have start drawing also is our boo sign. So it's going to be, there's a new boo in town, and so I actually bought these letters and painted them to decorate the wreath. But what I want to do first is of course use Cricut when I can, and that's actually a heat transfer vinyl. I could have used just permanent vinyl, but I didn't have it in the gold sparkly that I wanted. So I made do with what I had, and we're going to press it on there, and we're just going to call it an experiment and see how it goes. Nice and flat. Okay, we'll let those cool down. And we'll turn off our mini press. Something I do need to get in the works is the boo sign. And what I thought I would do is I'm going to actually find my placement. Okay, so here we are back, and I wanted to show you the finished project. So here is the orange wreath with the little bugs, spiders. I did paint the back, and we added lights to it, so they just emit a soft little glow. I don't think you'll be able to see it with the lights on, but so there is our first wreath. Okay, so now we're going to finish up our second wreath, and it is the square one. It's quite large, actually. Larger than the round ones, I will put it that way. And so what I did is I E6000 these together, and I put some little wires on there, and we'll also put some wire through there. And then I've got some pumpkins to add. So you kind of just look at your wreath and see where you would like to put that. I'm going to go ahead and put the other chenille, the pipe cleaners, in here. I think it'll just add a nice little touch. Just threading it through the hole. My husband created those for me. And I'm going to just give it a twist. And there's another hole over here that I tried to, I tried to leave it where I could get to it. Okay, so we're going to create another wreath in our little Halloween series here. I had my younger daughter see her sister's there's a new Boo in Town wreath, and said, oh my gosh, I didn't know they'd be that cute, I want one too. So her wish list was that it would be mostly black with just a touch of orange. So I've got the black mesh cut. I'm going to put hers on a just a normal wreath form here. The frame from Dollar Tree, the mesh is from Dollar Tree, and then these darling little pumpkins from Dollar Tree. And once again, what I learned from my other daughter was to the E6000 and the Chanel didn't work, so what I did is I thread a wire up in there and I twisted it around the stem to be able to secure it to the frame. She really liked this netting with the spider web on it, so I found more of that with just with just orange. And then I have some sparkly orange netting for her. One thing I'm going to do different, I'm going to actually create two, but for hers, I took the ink sign, and I will cover the back of this. I just did this last night, and I was letting it dry completely. But I painted it black, flat black, and then put Mod Podge on there, and then laid this sheer glittery spiderweb thing on it from the Dollar Tree. And the ink is from Dollar Tree also, to create. And I'm going to cut once it's dry all the way. It's not quite dry, but I will cut around and it'll be just the letters, and I think it's going to be adorable. So I'll show you that as it comes, as it finishes. I'm gonna make a yellow one. So I made a gold ink also. I found some of this, oddly enough, at an estate sale, and it's a glow-in-the-dark spiderweb. So I'm going to see how I can incorporate that into this black wreath. All right, let's take this hot mess and make it into something that she's going to love. Okay, so I put my cut mesh in just a little bucket. Helps me to stay organized a little bit. I did keep out these. If you'll notice at the end of your rolls of the mesh, you get this wonky thing. So I try to spread that throughout my design so that I don't have any odd misshapen thing like all clustered together. It'll be very noticeable. The other thing I did was I created these little poofs with the spider web netting, and all I did was cut it approximately 14 inches. There is a right side and there is a wrong side, so I put the two wrongs together. Just give it a real rough pleat. Take a pipe cleaner, approximately in half of the pipe cleaner, bend it, give it one good twist, and then I feed that netting back over the pipe cleaner, and then give three or so good twists. And then once you put it on the wreath, you can fluff it out, and then you'll be able to see this design well. Versus I'm going to put this inside the curls, and so it will come up, and it's longer. It's the 14 inches, so it's going to stand out above it, but you'll get a pleaty, roughly look with those. All right, let's start assembling this thing. I think we've got our ingredients all ready. I don't typically put a bow on these when I have the signs. You could if you want to, personal preference. I just choose not to. And basically, if you haven't done this yet, this wants to curl on its own, which kind of helps you. I curl them kind of tight. That helps with the fraying, I think, in my opinion. I do pick off those little loose pieces, but I get it and I pinch it in half, and then I just sort of gather it right there, try to get it in the middle, and I should have put my pipe cleaners on first. I will do that to finish these. But basically, put your pipe cleaner on. I go over two of the pieces, two of the rings for stability. Place that curl that I just created, give it a twist, and then to do this orange, we're going to try this. I haven't tried it like this quite yet. See if it's too long or I need to double it. I wanted it to really stand out. It's going to be too long, so it's alright. I'm going to literally end up cutting all those in half, but we'll do one so we can see it. Basically just cut it straight up the middle, lengthwise. Which is good because that just gives me more. Put it in there, get the Chanel pipe cleaner, whatever you prefer to call it, get it on there, and then I bend them down, and then this little curl here on the end that's sticking up, I'll either get it to curl in, or if it doesn't cooperate, boom, it's gone. So then when this will have multiples of those in the area. So I won't put the pumpkins on or this other netting until the very end, so I can get my placement, create that design I'm interested in. So here we are. Here is our yellow wreath. And I am going to go and get some spiders, or since we have the owl lights in here, I may go and see if Dollar Tree has some owls or spiders or something to add to this. So the sign is wired on. The lights are wired on. When I go and take that final picture, I'll make sure that we'll have the decorations, and I'll show you before and after with lights and without lights on. But, just to be more cohesive, I use the same color pipe cleaner. That was something I learned. I go around 2 of the rings for stability for my curls. I'm just using a real fine gauge to attach the sign, so it has a little bit of wiggle room so that when the recipient gets it, they can fluff it and move it around. Something I did different on this is I made very loose loops for the lights for the same reason. They'll be able to position those however they want. Of course, this is just using a pipe cleaner, Chanel stick, whatever you want to call it, to stabilize this, and then just bend this down. It's real easy. The switch is real easy to switch it on right here. It'll hang like that, but there, that one is 90% done. And when I do that final shot with the lights and all, it'll have the rest of the decorations. I just have to go to Dollar Tree. They love me. I should get a frequent flyer. But anyways, this one came out cute. I do like it. Very different than the other ones that I've created. The other ones were very dark, so this will be for someone who wants that, but maybe not that dark color. And then the other one for my daughter, for my younger daughter. So here is hers. And I finally found a way to use my glow-in-the-dark spider web. Because when I had the sign, I was like, oh, my husband's like, it really blends in too much. So I wanted to show you how I put the signs on the wreaths. And basically, I'm just going to figure out where it will sit the best. I think probably something like that. For this one, I used wire on the yellow one. This one, I'm going to use black. Just because it'll blend in well. I'm going to take a half a chenille and I'm going to put it through this little raffia thing they put on the top of their signs. Flip it over. And I love these signs and these pumpkins and all that, but I will be glad to clean up the glitter, I'll tell you that. So I'm going to put it around a few of these circles in the wire, in the frame, excuse me, just to give it some stability. I'm going to make this one fairly tight because I can make it fluffable with the other ones. And I did off-center it from the battery housing. And so this spider web just hooks on everything, which is the idea. Give it that googly look. And then I think I want to put one in here. Oh, I didn't show you, but what I did is, just to make it blend in better, I actually took my Elaine's tacky glue, and because it'll hold up in the weather, because this will go in a covered area, be outside but in a covered area, and just put it on the back, just to give it that eerie backing, and it stretches out really nice. I am going to poke this one through right here and then figure a place to put this on the frame. This one probably will not go around multiples because it's way out here. See what we can do with all this spider web stuff. And actually I'm going to put a full one on here and then trim it. So again, we'll put it through, and this spider web stuff does fluff out well. So I'll be able to fluff it. And I needed to use that full one for placement. It'll actually go right here. What I'm trying to do is see where the loops are and try to go in between a loop. Give it a better chance of being hidden. These are scissors that I don't use for much other than this cutting pipe cleaners and wires, and this bulk mesh cuts that well. Okay, so we've got it hooked there, and we'll pinch that, and now we'll fluff up our spider webbing. And the good thing is if I want to add more, this literally sticks to this mesh like you just wouldn't believe. I'm going to make that a little tighter. That's part of the adjustments. And again, I put the battery box, the battery holder compartment thing, opposite of where my top is. I did learn that in my other ones. Sorry to my other daughter, I didn't think of that when I made hers. But that's kind of how it goes. Okay, so that's in there. Pumpkins are great, but they make a terrible mess. But that's kind of what glitter is. These were fun. This was these ones that I started with. These were my first attempt at Deco mesh. So it was a big learning curve, but it wasn't hard to do it all. It was just what did I want it to look like was the biggest thing, the design part of it. So we have these two wreaths, and again I will show you, I'll put a picture at the very end of the video showing you the spiders once I've got them, or the owls, whatever it is I can find that's left out there now. And there were several things when I was there last time. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some ideas from it, some things that you would like to try yourself. I'm not sure where you'd be able to get this again. Like I said, this was from an estate sale. Just happened to find it. So it just kind of made an extra little touch, made this one kind of come together. Very different than the other one that I created. So, well, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. I'd love to have you see what my next creation might be. I'm always looking to make something new, having a blast making things and giving them to my girls, or to, you know, I got grandchildren, so my grandsons, the big spider one that I made before, he'll love that. They'll love that. So I'm just having a blast making stuff. So subscribe if you haven't. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I'll do my best to help you figure out whatever it is that's stumping you, or if I did something you're like, how did you do that? I'll be happy to answer it. So until next time, happy crafting.